Hey class, I hope you're having a good Thursday. Happy Thursday. Today we're going to talk about the geometry of shapes. It's Thursday, April 2nd. Today specifically, we're going to remind ourselves how to find the area of rectangles and triangles. Now I know you've had this before. You've had it at least in 6th grade. I'm pretty sure you've had it in 5th grade as well, and 4th grade. So area of a rectangle, you just take the base times the height. Some people say length times width, um, and that's good too. Now, there's reasons for saying both. The reason why I said base times height is because that's also the same equation for a triangle, except a triangle is going to be half the area of a rectangle. Now, base and height, what is the base and the height? The base is going to be perpendicular to the height. So if this is the base down here, we usually call that the length of the field. And then up here would be the width of the field. That's great. But just know that a base and a height are always perpendicular to each other. What does that mean? That means there's 90 degrees. This hits here, boom, and then this shoots up 90 degrees from there. So to find the area of a rectangle, you could also just say base times height. Either way, it doesn't matter. Let's say the base is 5 and the height is 11. What's going to be the area of that rectangle? The area is, dum da da dum, it's 15. And let's say that this was 5 meters, and that was 11 meters, then the area is going to be 11 meters squared because you multiplied meters times meters, 2 times, meters squared. All right, now what would happen if I erase, let's say, half of this? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if I can draw it again. Okay, so we have our rectangle, and we have our base and our height. Let's say the base here is 5, and the height over here, or the width, is 11. Okay, well, what would happen if I take my eraser and I just erase half of that area? I erase half of the rectangle, and therefore this area that was right here, that area right there that I erased, is gone. How much of the area is remaining? Well, if I erased half of the area, then half of the area should remain. So the area of a triangle, as you can see, this is a triangle. The area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. Because it's like we're taking the area of the rectangle and getting rid of half of it. Now, in order for this to truly be a base and a height, they have to be 90 degrees from each other. So what if I have a triangle where the base and the height are not part of the triangle itself? This length is a length of 5, and this length is a length of 11. And they can work as the base and the height because they're perpendicular to each other. So I can just multiply them and then divide by 2. So let's look at an example. Let me get a different color. And let's say we have a triangle like this. Let's say it's obtuse. Do you remember what obtuse means? That means it's the largest angle is more than 90 degrees. And let's say this obtuse triangle, that length is, let's say, 8, and that length down there is 7, and then that one down over there is 15. Well, which one is going to be the base and which one's going to be the height? Well, we could have the height go from here like to there. And these are perpendicular to each other. So you could have this to be your base. I forgot what I said that was. Let's just call that 15 centimeters. And let's say this height now is 3 centimeters. This is going straight perpendicular from the center of that base up to the corner. So the height has to go, it's got to be perpendicular from the base and it's got to hit a corner. So that works. So I multiply these two together, and what do I do after that? So 15 times 3. What do I do after that? We divide by 2. That'll give us our equation. So that's 45. 15 times 3 is 45. Divided by 2. And that's going to give us 22 and a half. Because I know 44, half of that's 22. Then I have 1 left over, so that gives me my half. 22 and a half, or 22.5. Centimeters cubed. Centimeters squared. I'm sorry. Centimeters squared. Because we're multiplying 2. All right, sometimes you're going to have a triangle. We could have picked one of these other sides to be the base. Again, it can be obtuse or acute. And let's say I picked that down there to be the base. Okay? So we're going to let this base be down here, and let's say it's like 7, something like that, 7 centimeters. Well, the height's got to be perpendicular, and it's got to touch one of the other corners. Well, if I do perpendicular here, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Not going to work. It can only work from right here to have a height. And see that that's perpendicular from the base. If I was a better drawer, it would be perfect. So these are not exactly drawn to scale. Okay, and then so we'd measure from here all the way up to the tip top. And let's say that's something like, I don't know, these are 2 different triangles. Let's say that that's a height of 10, okay? Or that sounds too big. Let's do a height of 6, okay? So, yeah. Wait a minute, this is obviously, yeah, 10, I like 10. I'm going back to my original vote. Okay, so we do 10 times 7 divided by 2. That'll give us 35. Units squared. All right, hope you guys are having a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.